Hello dear colleagues, the following is a video review of the updated version of the UCAR remote, version 2. The new version now supports even more systems than the first model. We have also modified the circuit board to improve reception during copying process. For those of you who are not familiar with this product, UCAR is a copy remote which can copy one-way car alarm remotes. It copies directly from the original remote. Such copy works right away and does not require additional pairing with the car alarm system. Now UCAR is also available as a flip key remote. This is what they look like. Let us show you how to program the remote. However, one thing of note before we begin. With some car alarm systems, the original one-way remote and its UCAR copy will need to be synchronized in order to work. It means that their activation counters will need to be in sync at all times, which is not very convenient. So we recommend copying such car alarm codes only if your client is not planning on using the original car alarm remote anymore and is only going to use the copy. So this will work well if your client simply wants to replace the original remote. In case you or your clients want to have additional remote which will be used together with the existing original remote, you can copy the original remote to UCAR and then pair the UCAR copy with the car alarm system. This way the two remotes will not interfere with each other. Both the original remote and its UCAR copy will be completely independent. We're going to show you how to do that later in the video. First, let's see how to copy using the UCAR remote. To do that, press and hold the button you wish to program. Place the UCAR remote close to the original remote and press the button you wish to copy on the original remote. UCAR emits one flash. Now press the same button on the original remote once more. UCAR emits a long continuous flash this time. For first time copying to the UCAR remote, it will need to receive two consecutive codes from the original remote. This is needed so that the UCAR remote identifies the copied system correctly. The long flash means the copying was successful. All subsequent codes from the same remote can be copied on the first try. That is, by pressing the required button on the original remote once. For example, let's program button B. Press and hold button B. Place the UCAR remote close to the original remote and press the button you wish to copy once. This time the long flash appears on the first try. The new code was copied to button B successfully. Let's do the same with button C. The copying was successful. Let's check. The alarm has been activated. Now it has been deactivated. And this is the setup button, it also works. Now let's program this flip key remote. It is not paired with any alarm systems yet. It is indicated by a short flash every time you press its buttons. If it does that, it means that the remote is in default mode, no codes have been copied to it. To program the flipped key UCAR remote, press and hold the button you wish to program. Place it close to the original remote and press the button you wish to copy once. The UCAR remote emits a short flash. When you see the flash, press the same button on the original remote again. The UCAR remote emits a long flash this time. It means that the copying was successful. Let's also copy the unlock button. It should be copied on the first try. Sometimes the signal is not received by the UCAR remote, like now for example. Try placing the original remote at different angles to the UCAR, and always pay attention to the light indication on the UCAR remote. Let's also program the remaining button by copying the setup button to it. Now let's check. The remote now activates and deactivates the alarm without any issues. As we mentioned earlier, with some systems the original remote and its copy will need to be synchronized at all times in order to work. What does it mean? If we activate the alarm 5 times using the UCAR remote, we will need to press the corresponding button on the original remote 6 times to activate the alarm. We cannot demonstrate that now because in case of this particular system, the original remote and its copy can be used independently without causing any cross-interference. The synchronization issue only appears with some systems. In this case, you will have to press the corresponding buttons on the original remote and its copy equal number of times to be able to use them. The formula will be press the button n number of times on one remote. To use the other remote, you'll need to press n+1 number of times to activate the same alarm system. To avoid that, after the original remote has been copied, you'll need to pair the UCAR copy with the car alarm system nominally. This will allow you to use the UCAR remote independently. To do that, you'll need to change the serial number of the UCAR copy first. To be able to change the serial number of the UCAR remote, make sure that the button combination which initiates programming function has been copied to the UCAR remote. For example, in case of the SenMax car alarm system, the programming mode is initiated by pressing the lock and unlock buttons simultaneously on the original remote. This sends the command signal to initiate programming, so this signal must be copied to the UCAR remote as well. If we press the lock and unlock button combination on the UCAR remote now, nothing will happen. So we need to copy this button combination to the UCAR. Press and hold the lock and unlock buttons simultaneously on the UCAR until it emits a flash. Release one button and continue to hold down the other. Place it close to the original remote. Simultaneously press and hold the lock and unlock buttons on the original remote until the UCAR remote emits a flash. Now the UCAR remote can send the command to initiate programming. Let us now demonstrate to you how to change the serial number of the UCAR remote. Simultaneously press buttons 1, 2 and 3. Then immediately release buttons 2 and 3 and continue to hold button 1. Press button 3 once. This long flash means that the serial number has been changed. The first thing you'll notice is that the remote no longer activates the alarm system. Its serial number does not match the serial number of the original remote, which is paired with this system. If we use this UCAR copy, we'll see that it still works. Its serial number is 460269E1. The original remote has the same serial number. This UCAR remote has a different serial number, so naturally it is no longer paired with the alarm system. However, this flip key remote still generates the code which is compatible with this alarm system. So now we need to pair this remote nominally so that it becomes an independent remote, similar to the original remote. The pairing of the UCAR remote is done per the instructional manual for that system. The pairing procedure is different for every system. In case of the SenMax car alarm, the pairing of the new remote is done when the alarm has been deactivated. Then we'll need to press the alert button 7 times and then start the ignition. The alarm emits a series of beeps. Now we'll need to pair all the remotes which will be used to activate the alarm. To do that, simultaneously press and hold the lock and unlock buttons. Now switch off the ignition. Please note that after the car alarm system has been switched to programming mode, you'll need to pair all the remotes. Otherwise, all unpaired remotes which were used previously will be erased from the memory of the car alarm system. Now this UCAR remote works. It activates and deactivates the car alarm. The original remote also works. This remote was paired nominally. It has its own serial number, which differs from the serial number of the original remote. The remotes which are paired nominally do not interfere with each other. Once again, this nominal pairing is only required to avoid the synchronization issue between the original remote and its copies, which can occur when copying certain system codes. With SynMax, the copies work independently without interfering with the original remote. On Starline car alarm system, for example, you will have to pair the copy nominally, otherwise the remotes will have to be synchronized. Let's also copy the code to this flip key remote as well. Press and hold the button you wish to program. After you see this flash, place the remote close to another previously paired remote. Press the activation button on the previously paired remote. The copy remote emits one flash. Now press the activation button on the previously copied remote again. This long flash means that the copying was successful. To copy the remaining buttons, simply repeat the same steps. Please read the instructional manual carefully to make copies correctly. It has a detailed instruction which will guide you through the copying and pairing process. Thank you for watching.